Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and here are the best games to play right now on PS5 which are all available on PlayStation Plus. So if you've not got PS Plus and you're wondering if it's worth buying or what decent games are on there, or you're already subscribed but looking for something new to play, hopefully today's video will help you out. Now obviously these games can change from month to month, but they are all on PS Plus Extra and Premium as of today. And before we jump in, drop your favourite game down below in the comments, let's see who else likes it too. Okay, and if you somehow missed this the first time around, this is still one of the easiest recommendations on PS Plus today, and that is Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. So it's got a decent single-player story where you play as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man in New York City. And there's just something about being able to explore and swing around New York City, climbing buildings, walking, talking, and taking down the enemies that never gets old. And it's got to be one of the best open-world type games out there for exploring and checking out every side street and alleyway. It's also fast, fluid, and if you're on the PS5 or PS5 Pro, it looks so good at 60 FPS. Plus the DualSense haptics make that web swinging and combat feel that little bit more immersive. So if you're looking for a cinematic 15 to 20 hour single player game that's fun right from the start, this is an absolute must play and an easy PS Plus recommendation. And you cannot have a list of PlayStation games without including one of PlayStation's original franchises, and that is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And this for me is one of the first PS5 games that genuinely felt next gen. Firstly, it's visually stunning and it's still one of the best looking PS5 games. It looks like a playable animated movie running at a smooth 60 FPS. And the detail, colours and sharpness of this game still blows me away every single time I boot it up. Now in the game there are 9 worlds, where you can jump between instantly with 0 load times, and each world or planet just looks awesome. They have different lighting, different enemies, and a whole different vibe in each and every one. And combat is the classic Ratchet and Clank style with bizarre weapons, fun and energetic battles, and loads of enemies to fight through. Definitely one that I would recommend everyone trying out, even if you've never played the previous games. And to be honest, it's a nice easy platinum and it will take you around 10 to 12 hours to get. Next, if you fancy a story-driven horror game, you've got to check out Until Dawn. Now, this is a remastered version of the original 2015 game, but it looks, plays, sounds, and feels so much better. I'm actually playing through it right now. I'm about 80% through the main story, and man, let me tell you, this game is great. It's essentially a playable slasher movie where every choice you make actually matters. Small decisions can completely change who lives, who dies, and how the story plays out. Now, I'm currently trying to keep everyone alive, but it is hard work. Now the remaster also does a great job of cleaning everything up too, with the improved visuals, smoother performance and faster loading times. Now I am currently trying to get the platinum as well right now, which will take me about 15 hours in total. So if you're looking for a narrative heavy and slower paced game for some of those late night gaming sessions, this is on PS Plus Extra right now. And if you want one of the strongest single-player experiences on PlayStation, God of War and God of War Ragnarok together are an absolute must-play. So the 2018 God of War is an action-adventure game where you play as Kratos, now older and more restrained, on a mythic journey with his son Atreus, all while completing quests and puzzles and developing a father-son bond. It is a brilliant story and it is visually stunning, plus the combat is brutal. Then, following on from that is God of War Ragnarok, where Kratos and his now teenage son Atreus face more dangerous gods and monsters, and the story dives even deeper into their relationship. Combat is a little more refined this time with new abilities, but the Leviathan axe is still stupidly satisfying to use. So yeah, if you're looking for a high quality game with incredible combat, world design and storytelling, these two games together are easily some of the best value on PS Plus. Now you might be surprised to see this one in the list today because Cyberpunk 2077 had a rough launch, but 5 years later the devs have definitely shown what this game is capable of. So on PS5 it finally feels like the game it was always meant to be. Night City is massive, dense and full of life, and exploring it is awesome. Whether you just want to cruise the streets, sneak into corporate tower or steal cars from NPCs, you can pretty much do it all. Now the main story is pretty decent too and should take you around 20 to 30 hours to complete, unless you're going for the platinum, and that will take you about 70 to 80 hours. Okay, right, so Death Stranding is easily one of the most unique games that you can play on PS Plus. And I know this divides a lot of gamers because at its core, this is a walking focused game about reconnecting a broken world. Although some will say this is just a walking simulator, but it's more than just that. So you get to play as Sam Bridges in a world where humanity is on the brink and your job isn't to save it with guns, but to reconnect it. You've got to plan your route, manage your cargo, and navigate across challenging terrain, all while trying to balance your cargo and deal with the weather. Now, the entire story is strange, ambitious, but very cinematic, and you'll find yourself lost out here in the vast open world. I would definitely say this is not a game for everyone, but if you're looking for a strong narrative focus with a completely different pace from most PS5 games, Death Stranding is well worth your time, especially if you're thinking about playing the second one. And following on from Spider-Man Remastered that we spoke about earlier, we have Miles Morales, which instead of trying to outdo the first game, adds a whole different storyline and a new character. So just like before, we get to play as Spider-Man swinging around New York City, but this time it's winter. So there's snow, Christmas lights, and woolly hats. Now what I like about this game is the story feels a lot more personal, and it focuses a lot on Miles trying to balance his personal life with his Spider-Man responsibilities. Gameplay is similar again, but it adds enough to keep things feeling fresh with new Venom powers, which are far more aggressive than Peter's. Also, 60 FPS performance makes swinging around the city feel incredibly smooth again. Now, this might be a shorter story than the first game, but I think it is a great game and definitely worth playing. As for the platinum, this should take you around 20 hours to get. And if you're looking for story-driven games that actually stick with you long after you complete them, The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 are essential plays on PS Plus. I can't remember how many times I've played these games now, but yeah, they are so good. So Part 1 sets the foundation with this grounded, emotional journey through a post-pandemic world, where it focuses on the relationship between Joel and Ellie. You've probably watched the TV series or played this on PS4 by now, but it looks awesome on PS5. Then Part 2 takes that foundation, but takes it in a much darker direction. It's bigger, more intense, and far more challenging. The gameplay is also more refined, with smarter enemies, more open encounters, and a twist in how the story plays out. And I'll tell you what, playing these two games back to back really highlights how far the series evolves too. I still think they could be the most memorable stories that I've ever played. So we've had a lot of noise recently with Ghost of Yotei, and although that's not on PS Plus yet, we do have Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. And this is a game that immediately pulls you in just by letting you exist in its world. So you play as Jin Saka in Japan, where he's forced to choose between honor and survival. We've got this incredible looking open world to explore, your trusty horse, and plenty of combat to keep you on your toes. Also, the great thing is on PS Plus you do get the Director's Cut. And this means it includes the island expansion, which adds more story content and some of the best side missions in the game. So if you were thinking of playing Ghost of Yotei, or you've already played that and fancy playing the prequel, or 300 years before, this is now on PS Plus Extra too. And Hogwarts Legacy is easily one of those games that you will lose hours in without even realising it. So you get to play as your own custom character, where it puts you in the role of a new student with a rare magical ability. Now, while the main story itself isn't really groundbreaking or anything special, but where the game really shines is the exploration. And I don't think any of us really realised how much you could explore. You can wander around the castle, discover hidden rooms, or jump on your broom and literally fly around the entire map. Now, I did get the plat for this when it first launched, and it is one of the most satisfying games that I've played on the PS5. Combat is fast and tighter than you might expect, and once you start unlocking new spells, fights get even more interesting. So yeah, Harry Potter fans, you've got to play this. It really is a brilliant game. And probably one of the most visually impressive games on PS5, and a remake of a classic game, is Demon's Souls. Now this, as the name suggests, is a Souls game, where the world is dark, brutal, and heavily focuses on timing and positioning. And it's probably no surprise that this is not an easy game. It will test your skills, your patience, and your stress levels as you progress through this absolutely brutal game. But I mean, if you're looking for a challenging PS5 experience, then it doesn't get much better than Demon's Souls. Then on top of those games, there are so many other games out there worth playing. In fact, every single month, PlayStation adds about 10 to 15 new games to the catalogue. Now, I do actually cover these every single month on my shorts on the channel, so if you're not subscribed already, make sure you are, and you will see those notifications. But anyway, out of the other 400 games on the PS Plus catalogue, here are a few of the other favourites. So LEGO Horizon Adventures is 100% a game worth playing if A, you like LEGO games, B, you like the Horizon games, or C, you just want a couch co-op game to play, because it's a nice, short, colourful story which is also narrated by the same voiceover artist who did Aloy in the main games. Then we got a Red Dead Redemption PS5 version added last month, and this now runs at a slightly better resolution and frame rate at 60 FPS. It's of course got the same story as before, but the fact that it now runs as a native PS5 game is great to see. Another one is Sword of the Sea, and this looks awesome, as you essentially use your sword to skate, surf and snowboard around the levels. It's one of those peaceful single player games to smash out, especially on the Portal. But seriously guys, there are so many games on the PS Plus Extra tier now. In fact, there are just shy of 400. But these today are my favourites and the best games that I think everybody needs to play. Also, if you're not sure if it's worth buying PS Plus, well, you only need to download and play 3 or 4 of the ones I mentioned today, and it pretty much pays for itself. Okay, well that kind of wraps it up. I hope this list has helped you out, but let me know what games you've played or would recommend playing on PS Plus. Let's see if we can get some chats going in the comments. Now drop a nice PS Plus games in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my PS Plus in 2026 video next, as it covers everything that you need to know about it. Well, thanks for watching, please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.